We might let's get together and get some art.
I want to. Okay, I have. Ooh, we have such an amazing collaboration going here. That was Tapan, Shikadim, and well, Shikadim. This is Valeria, and I'm talking with Robert Elms from the Galapagos Art Space, and now we're going to be talking to Jane Tuv, a journalist who is putting together the amazing event, which is happening next Sunday at the Galapagos Art Space. It is a charity event benefiting the Arlekino Theater Troupe, which is a special program for children. But Jane's going to tell us all about that right now.
Yes, so the event is going to be incredible, just so that everyone knows. We have a great set list. We have cabaret singer and Stroika. We have Valeria dancing, actually, with her troupe, Valeria Entertainment. And we also have a great jazz band, Jazz Compod. We have a wonderful caterer who's going to be catering the event with circus-themed hors d'oeuvres.
Wow.
Yeah, from Partners in Dine. Yeah. And yes, Robert, I hope you're going to be there. And we have a unicyclist, and like I said, aerialist. We have a juggler who's awesome.
I can't wait to see the reel. Just the reel is already like exciting. I can't wait to
we have a really, actually my co-founder of the program, Maria Dubinsky, she's going to be performing. She's a trained opera singer, and she's going to be performing various Spanish, Italian songs, and Yiddish theater as well. And it's just a great program. And the ticket sales, all the proceeds from tickets will actually benefit the program that I co-founded, Arlekino Theater Troupe, which is a music, art, theater, and dance program for children ages 3 to 7. And for families actually from the former Soviet Union. And the reason we started this program was because a lot of children are at a disadvantage, I think, for cohesive programs. And we wanted to build something that's unique, where a child doesn't have to be forced to go to one day to dance class, another day to music class, third day to something else, because cultural development is very important. I hold it in very high regard. I was very fortunate as a child to receive that back in Ukraine. And I wanted to instill an appreciation for fine and performing arts in children. And so the idea came about.
I love interviewing Jane. I don't even have to do anything. I don't even have to ask the questions. She was ready. Well, as a former journalist, I am not shocked, but it shows your background and experience. And so before you actually founded the theater, as I just mentioned, you were a full-time journalist, correct?
Yes.
And you were working in what types of fields? What were you reporting on?
Oh gosh, I pretty much reported everything. I enjoy writing about food and travel, which I've written, was a freelancer, but I worked at Forbes, and I was an associate editor, a news editor there. And so the focus was more on business and technology. Then I worked at AOL. I worked for multiple blogs there, which also personal finance, focus, real estate.
All kinds of things. I
yeah, I would say that. Yeah, it's a pretty general background. I enjoy writing about food and travel. I travel a lot, and I'm a big foodie. I love to cook.
and what got you to change your career pretty much and get into working with children, a completely different field?
A few things. I love writing and I love reporting, and I also realized that I love my personal time. And I felt at some point that the time I was devoting to work was not time that I was rewarding myself with personally. And as well as with the way that journalism has been, I would say, not flourishing, I felt like it was not, my skill was not required. I mean, pretty much anybody could become a blogger or a Twitterer.
But why turn to working with children? What was it about that specifically drew you?
It was very rewarding. I did tutoring when I was young, and I always felt working with kids rewarding, but mainly because they get happy. You see that what you put in them, you can see it. It's very contagious what they're doing. So they get excited about something, they learn something, they they talk to someone else, their peers or their families, and it's a chain reaction. And you know that that one small hour that you devoted to a child, it changed this child so much. And one thing is writing an article, which yes, it's very important for people to know news and to understand what's going on, but I felt like the work that I was doing was not as rewarding as the work that I was doing with kids.
And not as hands-on and direct.
Right, and I actually left Forbes in 2008 and I started working at a preschool, which is an amazing preschool that, you know, I've had many mentors from there, Pushkin Academy in Manhattan. And I was so inspired by the kids, and I realized that that was my path. And I love it. I think, to be honest, I have this gift because I am just like a child myself, and I get so happy around them.
That's wonderful. And when was the idea for the Arlekino Theater Troupe born, and out of what?
It was always in the back of my mind, and actually my co-founder and I, who we worked together at, you know, we taught together, we kept throwing it back and forth about, oh, wouldn't it be cool to have this like theater program? We just never thought of it as being something that's very cohesive, just a theater program for kids, young kids. And then there was this great opportunity to, from Kojako, which is an organization for Russian emigres, and a nonprofit organization, they had a fellowship, and for Blueprint Fellowship. So I applied, I received a grant I'm very grateful for, and I founded the program.
That's amazing. So can you tell us just a little bit more about the program, the actual activities? I know I read a little bit about it, and it was very interesting about what the kids actually do.
Sure. We have, like I said, a cohesive program. So we take a class of no more than 10 children because we want to make sure that we give them a lot of attention. We have 4 instructors. They're specialists. We have an art instructor, a dance choreographer, a music instructor, and a dance drama instructor. And we write a script for a play, and we write our own music, we write our own lyrics, and we teach the children throughout the semester we build their skills as well as train them in performing in front of an audience. And these kids are, like, we started spring semester this year. We 8 children and ages of 4 and 5, and then an amazing performance at the end of the year. They would make their own set. They work with our art instructor. While they're learning their brush strokes, they're also creating a set for the stage.
That's amazing. Yeah, and it also keeps alive the culture that you yourself come from.
Right, because the program currently is in Russian, so we promote Russian language development as well as good communication between children. They all support it. We don't say no. We just explain why something might not be the way that they want. We really instill positive communication. The children love coming to class. They make friends, and you know, we also work on cognitive and motor skill development. So it's a very, very well-rounded program.
I'm sure this is Valeria, and you're listening to Around the World. That was Urban Latino with Muévela. I love that song. Kind of mixes the Latin and the Arabic vibe together, and I love when different cultures mingle. I've been lucky to be joined by Robert Elms from the Galapagos Art Space. I hope you've enjoyed the interview. Robert, I want to thank you so much for your time, for coming in and telling us about this wonderful space and what you do for artists.
It's been a pleasure. We're really looking forward to the Arlekino event next Sunday. The office is excited. We think it's going to be a beautiful event, and Jane is doing a wonderful job with it. So.
I'm very excited too, and I just want to mention again later in the show, where can people get tickets for the event?
If they go on the Galapagos website, so www.galapagosartspace.com, there will be an opportunity to see the event. I believe is it in social? I think that they could just click on the event.
Yeah,
it's called Carnevale. So
Carnevale.
Yeah. But yeah,
the title is fun.
And tickets are very inexpensive, and all the proceeds from ticket sales go towards helping Arlekino Theater Troupe.
Yeah, I think the tickets are $20.
Yeah.
Is that right? I mean, it's this show that she's putting on is vast and beautiful and 3 hours long and full of breaks and
circus themed snacks.
Yeah, totally.
And Valeria Entertainment will be there, so of course you want to be there and get your tickets today. Absolutely, go on the Galapagos website, and I hope to see you there.